It's 2021, so you know that Zoom is a big part of our everyday lives. We're using it to replace in-person meetings, and we're using it for interviews to record podcasts with video. There are so many different ways to use Zoom, and this past year, everyone realized just how much benefit the platform has. Our team uses Zoom every single day, and we're not alone. According to Statista, Zoom's revenue increased 369% in just one quarter. They have literally exploded in growth. It's a powerful tool, and the best part is it's free. You just download it to your desktop, create a free account, and you're up and running in minutes. With millions of users globally, Zoom has revolutionized our lives. But the problem is there are a lot of people that record on Zoom who make a lot of common and avoidable mistakes. You don't have to be on Zoom long before you see it all. The bad camera angles, the poor lighting so you can't see people's faces, the people recording in embarrassingly messy environments, the annoying floating halo from digital backgrounds. And we're all familiar with that horrible scratching sound from the microphone of the Apple AirPods. There's a long list of mistakes that people are making, and nearly all of them can be avoided. If you're using Zoom for anything more than a meet and greet with your family, it's important that you get it right. If you're going to record a video podcast and you're going to put your show out on YouTube, you need to look beautiful. You need it to look professional. You need it to look amazing. With a few simple steps, you can take your Zoom game to a new level. In this video, we're going to talk about how to prepare your recording environment so that your next Zoom recording is perfect. We're going to talk about the proper lighting and audio techniques you'll need, and we'll offer some basic tips for tidying up your environment. We're also going to go step by step through the best Zoom settings and do a mock recording using what's called the double ender method. So if you want to learn how to create an amazing Zoom video for your podcast, then stick around to the end of the video and you will have everything that you need to get started. So let's dive in. When it comes to equipment for getting a good Zoom recording, there are a couple things to mention. You'll need a laptop with a USB port or a USB dongle, the Zoom desktop app, a pair of headphones, internet speed test, a high-res webcam, a USB mic, and if you're in a pinch, you can also use the mobile app with a cell phone. One thing to note is that while you can sign up for a free account, there are some limitations. If you have 2 or more people and you want to record for more than 40 minutes, you're going to have to upgrade to the $15 a month plan. Depending on your situation, it's definitely recommended. To get good audio, you're going to need a good pair of headphones. It doesn't really matter what quality or style they are, just that you have them. One of the common mistakes people make is recording the sound coming out of their speakers through their microphone, which creates really bad echo. Simply wearing a pair of headphones or earbuds during your recording will help solve that issue. It might seem strange, but you'll also want to do an internet speed test before you start your call. Most recording tools like Zencastr require you to have at least 5 megabytes per second of upload and download speeds. But the good news is that if you use the double ender method we mentioned in this video, you can get clear audio even if your internet connection is spotty. If you're using a laptop, you'll most likely have a built-in camera. But if you're able to upgrade to a higher quality webcam, we'd really recommend it. This is a great example of a small investment paying off in the long run. I'm using the Logitech BRIO 4K webcam, which is about $200, and it's a really huge difference in quality from my laptop camera. The other nice thing about an external webcam is that you can move it around. You can set it and position it really well so that it looks just right. While it's not critical, we also strongly recommend you get a USB microphone for your recording. While your laptop or phone have a built-in mic, another small investment into a USB mic can have a huge payoff. And it doesn't have to be expensive. For under $100, you can get the Technica ATR 2100 or the Samson Q2U. Both are dynamic microphones, which are great for podcasts because they only record what's right in front of them, so you won't record as much background noise. It's a small investment that is just going to make your audio quality sound so much better. So those are all the pieces you'll need to get your recording started on the right foot. So now let's talk about the next steps needed for your Zoom call. When it comes to recording environment, there's 3 things you'll want to plan on: sound, lighting, and aesthetics. To help us walk through these things, I'm going to bring in Colby from our team using Zoom, so he can talk more about the settings he uses for his Zoom recordings.
Hey Mandy, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Doing well. I am going to be talking through a couple different sections today on Zoom. So I wanted to start by just talking about the recording environment, and then after that we'll get into like the best Zoom settings. Does that sound good?
Yeah, awesome.
The first thing we recommend everyone doing is getting a USB mic. I think we talked about that already, and a pair of headphones as well. And this is super helpful just for making sure that you're not picking up a lot of background noise, and you're not picking up the guest coming through your computer speakers or anything like that. And it just gets you a higher quality audio. And the next thing is just the recording environment itself. You want to make sure you have a room that has a lot of sound dampening things in it. Like this is not a great example, to be honest, because I have hardwood floors and like a lot of wooden surfaces in the room and stuff that just bounces back audio. But getting carpets, curtains, couches, anything like that to dampen sound is really helpful. And also just making sure, like I turned off my air conditioner before this to make sure there's no background noise or anything that's going to disrupt our call. And the next thing is lighting. A lot of people on Zoom, they'll have like a window behind them or some kind of lighting source, and that can make it harder to see their face. So definitely recommend just taking time to make sure that you have good lighting in your room and there's something clear lighting on your face. I used to just be recording up against one of these walls, and it was just kind of flat and pretty boring. So I tried to clean up a little bit for this video and put a backdrop behind me and some books and a plant. And it didn't cost any money, but just putting a little bit of extra work into the recording process can definitely go a long way. And if you're asking your audience to sit down and watch a video of you, I think it just makes sense to put in a little extra effort there. So now that we've kind of gone through that though, let's dive into the actual settings in Zoom. So I'm going to pull these up on my screen here and walk through these, and then we'll do a test recording afterwards to see how it sounds and looks. So first we're going to go to the video settings, and I want to make sure my camera is set to HD. I'm using a CamPark webcam. It's 1080p, and I think it's like $50 on Amazon, so it's a great webcam to upgrade the video quality. I don't recommend turning on the touch up my appearance or adjust for low light. These settings, I would just save these kind of adjustments for post-production. Your video editor could do that, but I would keep those off. In audio settings, first off, you have your speaker. I've got my headphones hooked up to my USB mic here, and then my microphone is properly set up as well. And there's this toggle right here for automatically adjust the microphone volume. So if you're using headphones, you might want to do that. In some cases that can be helpful, but if you have the ability to actually set the gain of your microphone, then you can leave that off and just leave it at a set level for the whole time. Next is the suppressing background noise. We're just going to leave that on auto because that will turn off when we have original sound on. The next piece that's really important, this is kind of the most important thing for audio recording on Zoom, is the show in meeting option for turn on original sound. So you can see on my screen, if I disable that, it disables that button. So I'm going to turn that on, and anytime I click on, it's actually activated already. If I hit turn on original sound, all these other pieces underneath here are turned on. So high fidelity music mode, echo cancellation, and then stereo audio. And so I'm going to turn on high fidelity music mode. We'll leave that on. And echo cancellation would be great if one of us didn't have headphones on, because then it would make sure that we don't get any echo or loop in the recording. But since we both have headphones, I don't need that on.
Yeah.
And then I don't need stereo audio because these microphones are mono, so we don't need that. The third piece on the audio settings is going down to the recordings tab and make sure that you have record a separate audio file for each participant turned on, because then you'll be able to have two separate audio files, one for me, one for Mandy, and editors could, remove any background noise on Mandy's when she's not talking, or vice versa. And then you can turn on record video during screen share. That's also useful if we're going to screen share anything. And then I don't think that really any of these other settings are needed. Local recording, you can see at the top that you can select which file you have your recording saved at. You can also click here and manage on web to see your cloud recordings, even see the local recordings, which is really helpful. So those are the main settings. So Mandy, if everything's good on your end, I think that the next thing we'll do is do a test recording. The double ender method is basically recording separate audio files on top of this Zoom recording on both ends. So Mandy's going to record locally on her computer using GarageBand, and I'm going to record on mine using QuickTime. And this will make sure that if there's any glitches, like we just had a glitch a minute ago and I was a bit frozen on Mandy's screen, it'll make sure that any glitches like that don't get recorded in the audio, so we have a really smooth recording for the podcast. So I'm going to pull up QuickTime here.
And I'm pulling up GarageBand.
Awesome. Let me know when you're ready. So on QuickTime, this is built in on Mac. You can just hit File, New Audio Recording, and then after that, just hit this toggle button here to select the mic. Make sure you have the right mic chosen, and then make sure your quality is at maximum. And then you just hit record and we're rolling. Perfect. So now let's just start recording. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Hey, welcome to the Resonate Recordings podcast. I'm your host, Colby, with my co-host, Mandy here. How's it going, Mandy?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good.
Awesome.
Cool. So that's our test recording. We'll just hit end.
All right.
After you stop recording, the last step is to take that video you recorded in Zoom and then those two local audio files that you and your guest recorded on QuickTime, GarageBand, whatever tool you used, combine those together in a video editing program. I like to use Premiere Pro. That's what our team uses. And then do the final edit for your podcast. Combining these two separate files from you and your guest should sound super professional, should sound like you're in the same room. If you need any help with doing the video editing, you can reach out to our team. Resonate offers full video production services for podcasters. So reach out if you need any help with that. And I'm going to pass it back to Mandy now. So thanks so much.
We know that investing into video for your podcast and bringing in a production partner can seem like a stressful process. It's important that you work with an experienced team who can help you make sure that your goals are being met. Our team has worked with over 2,000 podcasters of all types to ensure their content sends a clear message and reaches the world no matter what medium.